Welcome to the series where I test out money-making methods from the OSRS Wiki. Feel free to leave suggestions on which moneymaker you'd like to see next. And also, if you didn't already know, I have a nice playlist that I've created that has all of the previous moneymakers that I've already tried. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's video, I will be taking a suggestion from quite some time ago. It is to do 1 hour of making prayer potions, but because that's not on the wiki and it's not really a moneymaker, I'll be doing the next best thing, which is making Ranarr potions, which is what you need to make the prayer potions. I think for the most part, training herblore isn't really a good moneymaker. Most of the time you're going to be spending money to train up your herblore level, especially if you're doing the fastest methods such as brews or anything like that. You can, however, make money making the potions that people buy to train their herblore very quickly, as we're going to do today with the Ranarr potions. It is important to note, however, that we will not be getting any XP for this moneymaker, but that's alright because this is all about making money and not so much about getting XP. Now this is similar to the video that I made a couple months back on the Snapdragon potions, but the requirements for this are a lot less since you only need 30 herblore instead of the 63 needed for Snapdragons. Now as for the gear setup, you really don't need to be wearing anything. I'm just wearing my graceful outfit because that's what I normally wear whenever I'm running around RuneScape. The only items you'll really need are the vials of water and of course the Ranarr weeds. And in case you do have it, the herblore skill cape will also help out since it gives you the ability to mix the vials of water with the grimy versions of the herbs. This will ultimately make you more money in the end since the grimy versions of the herbs are cheaper than the cleaned versions. But since most people watching this video probably don't have 99 herblore, I'll just be using the cleaned versions even though I do have the max cape equipped. But just know that you will make more money if you already have 99 herblore, so keep that in mind. Now as for the bank setup, I really won't be needing bank fillers here since they really aren't necessary. I'll just be putting the vials of water with the Ranarr weeds on the bottom right close to the deposit inventory button, and that's just to speed it up and make the banking as fast as possible. As for some of the plugins that I'll be using for this, I am using camera zoom and screen markers. I'll be using the screen marker plugin to draw a marker on the deposit inventory button just so I know where to click. It'll just help with faster banking overall. And then I will use the camera zoom plugin to zoom in closer to the bank and then align the bank chest with the deposit inventory button so I can just click right there, open the bank, and deposit. And that is pretty much all you need to know for this moneymaker. Now all you'll be doing is clicking on the vial of water and then clicking on the Ranarr weed and making the unfinished potions. There are a couple shortcuts that you can do to help speed this up and ultimately let you make more potions per hour, and that is to use the escape key to close the bank interface and the spacebar to make the potions instead of having to click on them. Now for me, I was just clicking on the potions to make them, but again, if you want to do it quicker, go ahead and use spacebar, but for me, I'm just used to clicking it. Now before you attempt this moneymaker, it is very important to do your own research and do a price check on the unfinished potions and the herbs. This is because the prices of items are always changing, so the profit that you see in this video might not be the same as if you were to try it a month from now. So make sure you check the prices and make sure you're doing the right potion that will give you the most money for your time invested. Another helpful tip is to buy the ingredients overnight and to sell the finished product overnight as well. That way you can truly maximize your profit. Of course, you could insta-buy all the ingredients and get to work immediately, but it would be a better idea to just put them in there for a lower price. That way you can buy them for cheaper, and then whenever you sell them, put them in there for a little bit higher than market price and let them gradually sell. It'll take longer to get rid of the inventory and to buy the ingredients, but overall you'll make more money, so I highly recommend doing that. Also, like with the Snapdragon video, the more money you have to work with, the more money that you can potentially make. To buy all the ingredients, I spent almost 40 mil, so it is quite a lot of money, but you really don't need 40 mil to start this moneymaker. You can just buy as many ingredients as your cash stack allows you to, but again, you know, if you have more money, you'll be able to stay here longer without having to make trips back and forth to the GE. Or I guess you could save yourself the trip by just doing this moneymaker at the GE, but if you're using my previous advice of buying the items for cheaper, then you'll obviously have to wait for those to come in, so a bigger cash stack will net you more profit. And like I mentioned before, if you do have 99 herb lore, you can make even more money by buying the grimy versions of the herbs, which are a little bit cheaper than the clean versions. And with that, you would just be clicking on the vial of water first and then on the grimy herb, because if you start with the herb first, it'll clean the herb instead of using it. Now, as of the time of recording this video, the results from poll 71 have come in, and all of the questions passed except for the one concerning the ornament kit for the ancestral recolors being tradable. So all of them passed, all of the gauntlet, all of the grotesque guardians, some raid stuff, and I think most importantly the mythical max cape, which I will definitely be wearing whenever it gets released. I gotta say, I think it looks really cool, and I might have to start wearing my white graceful once again to match with that cape, because again I think it looks really cool. Now when I heard that the question passed, it kind of motivated me to go for the champion's cape as well. It's something that I've kind of wanted to do for some time as a completionist, and I think it'd be cool to grind out and make a couple videos on. And then hopefully one day they'll add the ability to mix the champion's cape along with the max cape, although I'm not too optimistic about that because I feel like most max cape variants are best in slot capes, but you never know. Alongside the addition of the mythical max cape, they are also adding some monkeys that you can actually put on your back for completing a certain amount of laps at the Abatol agility course. Now this is something that I might go for because I do like completing a lot of, the items that you can get in the game, but agility is probably my least favorite skill, so that might be a pain to do, but I mean, we'll see. Another cool thing that passed the polls was the recolor for Rocky the thieving pet. Pretty excited about that one because I do have the pet, and I will have a red panda following me around very soon. And last but not least, the question concerning the unidentified minerals being used for soft clay packs and gem bags also passed, so collecting all of those unidentified minerals actually paid off, and I might actually sell them for some nice profit. But more than likely they're just going to be sitting in my bank forever. But it's nice to have the option to sell it if I do decide to. And with that being said, we have reached the end of our 1 hour of making Ranarr potions. We can now go ahead and go into the bank and pull out all the potions. We did end up getting a total of 4,060 completed, which is more than what the wiki estimated, which is awesome. And as you can see here, it's around 38.5 mil in potions. We can now go to the GE and put the potions in there for a nice price. Unfortunately, they are under market price. I'll be putting them in there for 9,334 because I did do a price check to see what they were selling for, and that was the price that I could get. Honestly, I'm not too upset about it because we did manage to make a lot more potions than what the wiki said, and we're still going to make a nice amount of money, 37.9 mil almost, so definitely not bad for 1 hour. We can now go ahead and go to the next screen and calculate how much total profit we received from this 1 hour. So if we subtract the total cost of supplies, which was 37,067,800 GP, from the total amount of money that we made, which was 37,896,040 GP, we get a grand total profit of 828,240 GP from 1 hour of making Ranarr potions. Now we definitely could have made a little bit more than that, but the servers were really laggy as they have been for the past couple weeks, and a lot of the time the bank interface would freeze and I wouldn't be able to click on anything, so I did miss out on a couple potions that I could have made, but it's not too big of a deal since we did make more money than what the wiki was suggesting. Now the previous video that I made wasn't the usual OSRS Wiki money making method type videos, but I just want to say that you guys gave it some really nice feedback. I got some good support for a series continuation on that, and I just want to say thanks because I wasn't sure how you guys were going to receive that, but I would definitely think about making other videos like that in the future. And I also realized that I have a pure account that I made a very long time ago that I can definitely train up some more and possibly make some videos on that as well, so be on the lookout for that. It might make for some interesting content, especially since I am not the best PKer out there. I am probably one of the worst, but I'll try my best. And again, I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and possibly a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.